the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Welcome in here, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, a Sunday night special right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. It is Muth up in the booth, and right next to me, it is the good old Al Smith. Al, we are back in action here on a Sunday night with the Possum Kingdom Massive Series, and unlike last time, or like last time, excuse me, or like last time, there is some money on the line here at DEGA.
Yeah, tonight's event, $500 to win with the lobby full of drivers. 43, I believe, have logged in. We'll start tonight's race. And basing it on how practice went, there's going to be a lot of side-by-side racing. These drivers are getting more familiar with the super speedway racing. And as I do, and you do as well, Roger, we love super speedway racing here on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
I think, Al, Talladega, though, by far, if you're going by super speedway standards, is the best out of the two. Daytona, yes, it has its qualities too, because it has lights and we can race at nighttime there, but, I mean, Alabama, Talladega, it is just perfect, especially with that start-finish line down where it is. I'm already excited. I know these boys are out there qualifying right now, as they're turning some quick laps. Right now, only 8 drivers now have turned in a lap time. But Al, with this much money on the line, we saw a really good race a couple weeks ago for $1,000. What do you think just $500 is going to do with this purse tonight?
I don't think it's going to be any different. I think you're going to see a lot of guys working together, trying to get that tandem. We did see last time here the overheating issues did cause some issues with the power plants inside these race cars. You know, so we're gonna have to see, did they learn anything? Have they been practicing how to push and be more efficient at it? Are we gonna see more 3 and 4 wide racing? If you recall, the last time we were here, not only were they 3 wide at the end, they were 4 wide at most of the time throughout that race. If that high line, we'll call it the rib riding line, comes in here tonight, but they put on one heck of a show, and I don't expect anything less here tonight.
Well, before we go any further, we got to thank the Possum Kingdom and everything they do down there in Belton, South Carolina. The dirt track, the little go-kart dirt track, they are back at it, Al, just like a whole bunch of us wish we were. So what do you say, once a lot of us, have this kind of all go away here with the COVID-19, how about we go down there and support the Possum Kingdom down there? And, Al, I don't know about you, but I would really enjoy watching just about anything go around the track right now out there in the real world.
Yeah, it's good to see that some of the motorsports world is able to get back opening and get going here lately. More tracks in the Midwest and the central part of the United States able to get back up and running. Glad to see the Possum Kingdom getting back underway with their racing activities. So I think it's just momentum that will start, and hopefully, for us Northeastern guys up here, that'll happen sooner than later. But right now, Justin Harris going to your number 1 spot here on the provisional pole.
Yeah, with 25 seconds left to go to be the race to see who's able to come back around here. But it's Adam Benefield there in second. Aaron Bowles is sitting there third, and Timothy Pope is fourth. Now a new top spot. Austin Yarbrough joins the top of the leaderboards here with a 50.341 with just under 10 seconds to go. I think that might just about do it here in qualifying.
Yeah, the only driver up speed right now is the set of 47, and he's not going to make it back around. That was Frank Daney, so he will qualify 17th as we are getting ready to go 75 laps, and everybody's got that one mulligan. The crew here has allowed one backup car to every all the drivers, so we'll see how that works out here tonight. But they are getting ready to go racing here. 43 drivers strong.
Well, with 43 drivers strong here taking to the grid, what do you say we see if we can already take you through your grid here tonight? Your starting grid will look like this. Starting on the front row here, our starting lineup brought to us by the Possum Kingdom. Starting on row number 1, it'll be the 43 of Austin Yarbrough. Next to him, it'll be the 83 of Adam Benefield. Behind them, Blake Sorrenzo's there in the 38 machine. Ty Bass is right there in the 41. Row 3, it'll be Robert Dykember, and Jerry Rice. Row 4, it'll be Tommy Butler in the 39 machine. And then it's going to be Aaron Bowles in the number 1. Row 5, it'll be Justin Knobloch and Chad Grant.
Row number 6 will make up the number 2 of Elliott Sadler to his outside, the 97 of Michael Bumgarner in the car number 97. Starting on the inside of row number 7 will be the 06 of Daniel Simmons to his outside, the 444 of Justin T. Johnson. Starting 15th on the grid will be the number 48 of Robert Dykemper, and to his outside, the 3 of Chad Grant. Frank Diney in the number 47 will start 17th on the inside of row number 9 to his outside, the 00 of Joseph Fowler. And in row number 10, the 23 of Jeremy Rice and the 96 of Daniel Armstrong.
Yeah, we apologize for that glitch there on the timing and scoring, but starting back here in the 11th row will be Hunter Heck, and then it'll be Bryce Boatwright in the number 6. Starting in row number 12, it'll be Landon Huffman and Jonathan Lewis in the 22 machine. Row 13 here, it's going to be Mark Flesher and Hermie Sadler. Row 14, it'll be Greg Petray and Colin Keister. Row 15, it'll be Justin Knobloch and Colin Bowden.
Starting on the inside of row number 16 will be the 51 of Malik Ray to his outside, the 33 of Cole Johnson. Ryan Joyner and Daniel Hendry will make up the next row in the 33rd and 34th starting spot. 35th will go to the number 8 of Pete Nagy. The number 01 of Clint Mills will start in the 36th spot. 37th will go to the 18 of Jason Johnson. James Seawright will start 38th. 39th will be Sean Ward. Tommy Bowder will be 40th. Matthew Robinson, Derek Keeter, and Michael Dowell rounds out your 43-car starting field. And Roger, we are getting ready to go green flag racing.
Yeah, next time by, we'll drop the hammer for the first time here tonight for your Possum Kingdom massive series right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Going to be all Austin Yarbrough when they come by the flag stand, or through the tri-oval to the flag stand. 43 Strong, I believe, did take the grid here. Checking back through the notes, the Legacy Esports driver of Yarborough on the top spot here tonight. The butt kicker of Ruzy Sportswear entry. Let's see, it looks like actually 42 cars as the 43rd car of Michael McDowell. Doell gonna not take to the grid here, so one driver down now, but either way, these guys this time by are gonna hit the loud pedal, come up through the old 4 speeds here. 550 horsepower per car about to be unleashed here in Talladega.
Definitely going to be some exciting action, so hope you're strapped in. Pull those belts tight one more time for me, Roger, as we get ready to go. Green flag racing. Yarborough on the point. He'll be taking us to green flag. Where if we're at Daytona, that's where the start-finish line would be. But we have to go an extra little bit as the green flag drops. We're underway for the first time here tonight in Yarborough with a nice jump out across the line with Benfield in that 83, giving him a nice push here down to the turn number 1.
Somebody's crashing down towards the back of the field. I believe that's going to be Pete Nagy. He goes around, but we stay green flag racing for the time being. And your front runner of Austin Yarborough, as they come out of turn 2, he will take the lead and he will hold down the top spot as your front 4 goes single file. But here comes the 39 or the number 7 G Fuel Chevrolet of Blake Sorenzo. He goes to the front, shooting through the middle is going to be the number 2 of Elliott Sadler. He's not going to have much help, but now here comes Bass in the 41 machine. He's going to go to the outside middle groove. He's going to be joined a couple more of them. I believe that's Pope coming to the outside also to help him out.
Yeah, Pope will slide out in front of the 2 of Sadler's as they work through the tri-oval for the first time under green flag conditions. We've got them 3 wide as it is the 97 Bumgarner working the outside. We're going to look almost 4 wide. It'll be Yarborough credited with leading lap number 1, but here comes Sadler in the middle. He's got to be pushed by that Flash and Go Graphics, number 41 of Bass, as he works there. The middle groove starting to form up the inside line. And we got 3. We got cars trouble. 44 going around. It looks like Johnson getting turned off of turn number 2. Yellow flag is out. Hopefully no one else will come piling in.
So the caution flag going to fly here for, I believe, that was Justin Johnson there in that 44 Ford Mustang, bright yellow entry Mustang here tonight. And going to go around on the back straightaway. Is Derek Keeter also involved, or he is just slowing down? He doesn't want any part of it. He's trying to keep his M&M Toyota clean without any damage here at Talladega, because we know how hard it would be if you get damage. Yeah, we talked about they do have a quick repair, and they would be able to, come down just like Justin Johnson's going to be able to here in his player's car. He'll come down, he'll be able to get the car fixed, but you just don't want to take that risk here in the early going and take your chance out of winning this race here at Talladega. But let's throw it back here on the old Turn 3 Racing replay and see if we can find out. There, we already see it. There you see. It looks like that 44 car goes up top there. I'm not sure who that car was that got involved in that. We'll have to
I believe it was the 23 of Jeremy Rice, I'm being told from the trailer. Looks like that they just made contact off of turn number 2. It looks like the 23 of Rice just kind of do that side draft thing that we see so often here at the Talladega Super Speedway. And it just may have been a bit of net code that turned the 44 of Johnson, unfortunately. But hopefully they'll be able to get their cars there on pit road. That helps out was the drivers that were involved in that early wreck, Roger. Was the 28 of Keeter and the Derek Keeter number 28 car. So those guys are able to come down pit road and get some damage fixes they got in that mishap on the start.
Yeah, and I'm looking at that Pete machine out there, the number 8 Toyota, and he's got some pretty substantial front nose damage also on that number 8. There you see right ahead of him, that is going to be Justin Johnson. Both those drivers will be coming down pit road this time. It looks like the 28 of Derek Keeter was actually down pit road last time by, and he is slowly coming back up through the box. And here comes a couple of your leaders. It looks like Blake's going to bring the G Fuel number 7 down pit road. He'll hit his box, and then I believe that's the 20 or the 97 of Bumgardner also down pit road. A couple other drivers now catching up. It looks like Rice and Joyner, Keister also coming down pit road. So a couple other drivers now will join them. Somebody missing their box and having to go backwards, I believe. Is that James Seawright? It is C-Ray trying to find his pit box. Kind of difficult. 43 stalls taken up here tonight.
Yeah, pit road is not one of the nicer parts of iRacing, as it can get very jumbled up for you. So it's a bit of confusion down there. It's not easy for me, so I'm not gonna say anything. I kind of cheat the system a little bit, though, Roger.
By not being out there.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I figure there was a reason you were joining me up here tonight, and these boys were down there on the track. Well, we do got to welcome everybody in here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. You're watching the Possum Kingdom Massive Series 500 win here from the Talladega Super Speedway. 75 laps going to be the distance. That's 199 miles around this big 2.65-mile Super Speedway. Track temp here tonight is well over 100. Right now, it's at the coolest it's been since the lobby has opened. It's at 101 degrees. There is a 13-mile-an-hour wind, and Al, that's to the north here.
Well, hopefully that weather makes it our way.
I would take 101-degree weather right now with a 13-mile-an-hour wind here in Pennsylvania over the snow flurries that we had yesterday at lunchtime.
Right. And last night, or Friday night. What night was that? Whatever. Anyway, you know who's leading this race? The number 2 of Elliott Sadler. He was able to get out in front of our pole sitter, Austin Yarbrough, that number 51 car. Now, if you remember back, Yarbrough was a very good pusher in our last telecast of the Possum King series here on Turn 3 Racing Network. So he'll be lining up on the outside or inside, depending on what lane Elliott Sadler will choose. And you got Ty Bass. He was a very good pusher as well in that first broadcast here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. So not a bad, now you just got to choose which one you want to be behind you right now. If you're Elliott Sadler, who do you choose?
Well, I don't know if he's going to have a really big choice here. It looks like it's going to be that tough Splash and Go Graphics, number 41 here of Ty Bass. He's going to line up behind him, and then it's going to be Adam Benefield lining up behind Austin Yarbrough, who was your pole setter here for this event at Talladega. So we'll see how they are able to work together when we go back to the green flag racing. A couple drivers coming back down pit road. It looks like Joyner is down pit road. Ward is down there. Seawright, Robinson. A couple drivers going to take advantage here under this caution lap yet to fill up their tanks of fuel. I didn't get a calculation before we went green here, Al, but I'm still going to say it's probably right around 25 laps. You might be, I'm guessing. I don't even know what the fuel window is here tonight, but I'm going to say 25.
Yeah, I'd say 25 to 30, just checking back over our notes. I believe they were able to go 31 laps. Looks like the most from the last time we were here at the Talladega Super Speedway. So assuming that they're able to cram that tank full of the virtual Sunoco racing fuel, they should be able to go 31 laps. So 5 laps in, and these guys have been working the clutch and the on and off buttons with the ignition. So already thinking fuel strategy and trying to cut down as many pit stops as possible here at the Talladega Super Speedway.
Yeah, and you talk about cutting the car off and whatnot, hitting the switches. Elliott Sadler, as we ride on board, looking out the back camera here, as you see everybody lined up 2 by 2 for as far as you can see at Talladega. He is cutting off the motor to this number 2 Chevrolet. He is trying to save fuel while he will be leading us back to green flag with that Toyota. It's kind of odd to see Elliott in a Toyota.
I was going to say, it's not a Chevy, Roger. It's a Toyota. We have a Toyota, a Chevy, and a Ford inside the top 3 here for tonight's race. We're going back green flag racing. 5 laps will be in the books. 70 remain till someone's going to go to that pay window for the $500 to win here tonight. Who's it going to be? Well, we're going to have to wait to find out as the green flag drops. Elliott Sadler going to jump on the loud pedal first. He gets a nice jump, and Yarbrough's going to slide right in behind him.
As it looks like a little bit of a staggered start there. All your front runners are going to run away. 4 drivers running away with it. Then back here in the 5th spot, you see that 56 to the outside, or the 54 to the outside. That is going to be Justin Harris. He started on the outside in his Zaxby Chevrolet. And now I'm looking at it, Alan. There's not many cars that are side by side, but here comes the 41 of Bass with his Mustang. Splash and Go to the outside, but he does not have any help as they come down the big back straightaway here at Talladega.
No help yet right now for that driver is the number 1 of Aaron Bowes is your next driver that has jumped up there. But Bass is going to go way to the outside, so he'll drop back behind Bowes. A little bit of cars below the yellow line. No harm, no foul right there, but keeping it straight and clean as they work through the trial. Sadler's going to lead lap number 5. They'll work in lap number 6 as they work around the Talladega Super Speedway. Aaron Bowes at that number 1, the mobile 1, Kevin Harvick, paint job is kind of sharp there. A little bit of a net code looked like there, a little bit of looseness for Bowes. He'll keep the momentum on the outside as we got 2 lines formed as they roared on the super stretch.
Yeah, they were kind of stretched out there on that restart, but look at Yarbrough kind of nailing the back end of that Toyota, the number 2 Sadler machine. He is trying to get that number 2 going somewhere quick here tonight. Well, right now, he is already where he needs to be, and that is out front. Yarbrough sitting there second. Third to the outside lane, you do see the Busch Light number 4 Mustang, or number 1. I'm thinking the Busch Latte machine should be number 4, but it is number 1 here tonight, and he's got a really good push there. Robert hammering on the back end with his Lowe's 48 Chevrolet. They will work back down into turn number 1, side by side. I'm looking at it, and you can put the top 20 all right here under the blanket.
Yeah, they were running side by side. We had a little bit of movement around in there. The second place row here on the outside, that was the 48 Dyekepper. He got a little bit loose off the corner, but he's still sucked right up to the back bumper of Bowes. Now they're dead even for your race lead. But they come off a turn number 4. It'll be Sadler now squeaking out to the front with his Toyota Camry number 2 with the push from Yarborough. Here comes the 83 of Benfield. He's also down on that inside line, so the inside line a little bit more organized right now than that outside, but that number 1 of Bowes getting one heck of a push down to the turn number 1.
He gets a push, but they separate on the outside as you look back off Elliott Sadler's deck-lid camera. You see the sun coming out as they roar down the backstretch once again. The 48 going to be shuffled to the outside. Robert's now going to be looking for a little bit of a dancing partner as he is going to not find anybody. He is going to be the odd man out going down the back straightaway here. Looking at the speeds, 205 for Elliott Sadler down into turn number 3. Only 192 miles an hour for Robert in the Lowe's Cobalt Chevrolet. He will now fall from running the outside lane in second all the way back to the 17th position. By the time they come out of turn 4, he will find an opening there right behind, I believe, is that going to be Bryce Boatwright. He finds it right there with the First Union Chevrolet number 6 down to his inside. Now he's going to have it. Looks like that is Clint Mills in an old iconic mellow yellow scheme back here. Clint right now just outside the well, I'll call it the 20th position, actually, as he is right now in 20th with that Toyota.
Some comers and goers. Clint started way back into the 31st position, I believe, and he's worked his way out. All behind them, the cars have kind of single-filed out. Then behind them, a little ways, there's another group of cars. So everybody kind of just riding as they saw how it wasn't the big one. Fortunately, it was only 2 cars that were involved in that first yellow here tonight, but everybody's kind of mellowed out. As I say that, here goes the number 6. Clint Mills going to go around in that 31 car. So the broadcaster curse is still alive.
Well, you didn't have to say the broadcaster's curse, Al, because now we're jinxed already here as the second yellow flag of the evening is going to fly. You saw that all really kind of start to unfold right in front of our eyes there, but we will give you that replay when it's available. Al, here's a little bit of an interesting strategy now. Your leaders, it looks like your top 18 have stayed out last time under yellow. Do you see them coming down for fuel this time?
I think it depends on where they want to run. I could definitely see them, at least having the conversation about coming down. We have 65 laps left to go in tonight's race. And so I think if you didn't come down the first time, you'll definitely come down this time because you're going to be about halfway through a fuel run. So,
well, what do you say we go ahead and find out what happened here? And then, there you see it right back there. You saw Boatwright and the 3 kind of swerving it around. Unfortunately, Clint Mills just nowhere to go for himself in that incident. We will throw it back here once again, and you're watching that inside lane. You see the 3 come to the outside, and he tries to come back down with the Blue Moon Chevrolet, and fortunately catches Boatwright and then catches the mellow yellow 01 of Mills, and down into the grass. I'm not sure who that was that came screaming through there, but they got T-boned down there in the grass. They're going to have to pull out the old backup car.
Yeah, tough right there is your race leader, Elliott Sadler, going to come down to the pit road. Bose will stay out, so interesting strategy there. And it looks like also the 218 of Jonathan Hagler going to stay out. So only a handful of cars staying out. Everybody else coming down pit road to get their car serviced for the first time here tonight.
Looks like Yarbrough was a little confused there on where his pit stall was. Now he'll find that Legacy Esports car into his proper pit box. That is P number 1. It's just going to be a splash of fuel for that number 1, and he is down, or 51, and he is down and away. Elliott Sadler also going to come out there second behind him, but they are going to lose out on positions. It looks like they're going to go all the way back to the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th position on track. Aaron Bow's going to stay out here, or Bo's going to stay out here with that Busch Light number 1. Then it's going to be Jonathan Hagler, Justin Harris, Daniel Armstrong, and Starrin's going to be there, P number 4, or 5. I can almost count tonight.
Yeah, do you need to take your socks off?
It's too cold for that up here in the North, Al.
It is, but yeah, your top 7 cars staying out. Well, top 8, because Hermie Sadler came down the last pit cycle 9 laps ago, so he has come down. So he'll find himself in the 18th spot in that car number 16. That number, it's all yellow number 16. So Hermie Sadler, your last car that did not come down this cycle as of yet. But some interesting play calls there. Some fuel only, maybe a couple 2 tires, and then everybody else taking 4 and filling that car up with a bunch of fuel to hopefully get a little bit further in this race. I like the 4 tires. I like the maneuverability that fresh tires would give you as a driver. But if you want to get up front and kind of out of the hornet's nest, I don't know. It's kind of been a hornet's nest wherever you've been tonight. These guys are putting on one heck of a show.
Yeah, you know, they're trying to bob, weave, dodge the murder hornets that are out there here at the virtual Talladega Super Speedway. They need to get to the front. It's not a very long race here. It's, you know, only 199 laps, 199 miles. 75 laps is the actual lap count, unless we would have to go to the overtime. And you never know. You never know how things like this are really going to play out. A couple guys, it looks like Hermie Sadler is going to come down pit road here. We saw him actually use this strategy last time we were here at Talladega. He decided just about any time that he could come down and get fuel before the 1 to go. He was coming.
He would. Yep. And it actually played out well, if I remember correctly. I think he was able to avoid some of the mishaps that happened, and it was a good strategy. So if it's not broken, don't fix it. So I like the strategy, taking 4 tires, filling it up with fuel, and he'll be able to be good to go here.
So we will find out. It looks like the iRacing pace car lights do stay on here as Hermie Sadler and a couple of the other drivers come down pit road here. So as we have this second, we're going to take a quick break here from the Talladega Super Speedway, and we'll be right back here with more live action at Talladega for the Possum Kingdom Massive Series 500 to win here tonight at Talladega.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Assist to the front bumper, and he hits him again now. Rayon Fowler into the outside wall.
He's gonna pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's gonna get them all done with. What amazing!
Lee to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is gonna touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save!
Look to the outside, and Trunkett goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
He's trying this contact though. And wide left of the racetrack. Chris Renner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe. Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Makashube, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the Talladega Super Speedway. You're watching the the Possum Kingdom Massive Series here from Talladega. $500 on the line, and now this time by, we should see the old pesky iRacing pace car lights turn off so we can get back to the green flag racing action here for these boys. 41 still left on track.
Yeah, 41 cars, unfortunately. Jeremy Rice in that number 23, damage sustained earlier on in the event. Too much to carry forward here tonight, so he will not be able to be it'll be our first car behind the pit wall. So tough break for the driver of the 23, Jeremy Rice, and Michael Dowell, the number 26, unable to make it out for tonight's race here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway, put on by the Possum Kingdom. Here as we get ready to go. Lights are out on the Ford Mustang. They found the off switch as they will start to double up and we'll get ready to go back racing. 14 laps in the book as we're going to cross the line at the green flag will be 15 in, and that'll leave us with 60 laps of racing left here to go at the Talladega Super Speedway as they all get doubled up.
Yeah, on this restart, you'll see Bowles out front, Hagler second, Harris, then Armstrong, Starnes, and Deeney are going to be at the top 3 rows when we go back to the green flag racing. It looks like, if I'm counting it right, 7 drivers are going to stay out here under this yellow. They will not pit. Everybody on back then will have pitted, and a couple guys topping off here before we go back to the green flag racing. So everybody a little bit on different strategy. Some 2-tire stops towards the front here. Yarbrough, Sadler, Benefield, Pope, Simmons, Sinceros, and I believe, or actually not Sinceros, he took 4 tires. So 8th through 12th all taking 2 tires. Everybody else through the field taking 4 tires. So we'll see how the tire strategy plays out along with the fuel mileage here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how these front 7 drivers are going to do. Maybe they'll work together. They're going to have to come down and pit if this goes green for a while, which can happen and did happen in our last race here with the drivers from the Possum Kingdom here. So interesting to see. They'll have to work together here and try to get to pit road at some point when it goes green. But that pace car is going to take a wander down pit road and park it and hopefully get some fuel for itself as everybody else is ready to burn some rubber as they'll smash the gas once they get through the tri-oval.
Yeah, it's a long, long crawl. That's 70 miles an hour. A lot of these guys are going. Actually, I believe pace speed is 65 here kind of brought it up just a little bit, the anticipation, you know, till we can go back to green flag. The green flag any moment gonna wave, and there is the green flag, and Aaron gonna push the pedal on the right just a little bit harder than he has been as we are back to the green flag racing. This time, Al, nobody missing a shift, and everybody's gonna stay kind of grouped up here.
Yeah, side by side for your top 4 rows. And then we got Yarborough and Elliott Sadler working the outside line a little bit deeper behind your top 4 as they work down the backstretch. It'll be the number 1 of Bose showing the way, but here comes Hagler. And that number, the 96, that's Daniel Armstrong. First time we've mentioned him tonight. He's pushing that 218 of Hagler to your race lead in the turn number 3. He'll come off the turn number 4 since the green flag is dropped. And it'll be 2 by 2 by 2. 6 rows deep down across the stripe. They'll come. Who's it going to be at the line?
Yeah, right now it's going to be Hagler out front here. Will he be able to bring his unsponsored 218 across the line first? He will. That'll be the first time Hagler has lit a lap here tonight at Talladega. And look at that red car. You said his name. It's Daniel Armstrong. Is now a third lane. Frank Dini has taken his Kroger 47 Chevrolet to the outside, and he started a third lane. The last time we were here at Talladega, Daniel Armstrong not having a very strong showing as you see guys start to kind of single file themselves out. Now you see Hagler and Armstrong go down there. Here comes Yarborough. He's going to slice and dice down in front of us at the number 2 there of Elliott Sadler. So he's going to go from the third lane, leading the third lane all the way down to the, well, we'll call it the middle groove. Now he will lead Elliott Sadler out of turn 4. Will those two be able to go up around Hagler?
Genie left out there like a fish out of water. Everybody said, oh, the third lane isn't working. We're going to go lower. He got shuffled all the way back outside the top 10 in that Kroger number 47. Everybody's double filing it out now. Sadler out to the outside of Yarborough, back to your race lead as they work off turn number 2 and down the Talladega super stretch. Down the backstretch they go. Now it'll be Bass taking a peek to the outside. They're going to be 3 wide down in the turn 3.
Yeah, right now the lead is the number 2 of Elliott Sadler. Sadler going to leapfrog now. He's going to go down to the inside. He will now have that strong sideways there. Who was the sideways machine? That was Adam Benefield. He was sideways for a moment, and now he's going to look to take the lead off of turn number 4. Will he be able to by himself? Because now Pope goes back down to the inside. That leaves Bass all by himself at the line. It's going to be Adam Benefield back to the lead here. Wow, I say back to the lead, but it's back to the front where he's been most of the night.
And he's got a nice push by that 51 of Yarborough. Yarborough super fast here tonight as he was taken out or in a race incident in the last event here at the Talladega Super Speedway with the Possum Kingdom Series as they work down in the turn number 3. It'll still be now Bass to your race lead as he had a nice push from the 17 of Colin Keister, but he'll take and go back to the inside line. That allows the air to get onto the Sunny D, number 17 of Keister. Keister with a head of steam now being pushed by the Timothy Pope mobile. That is the number 728. They'll come to the line and it'll be the number 17 leading this lap. Lead change once again here as we work lap number 19.
So Colin Keister going to go to the lead for the first time. If you remember back all the way to Dover when the Possum Kingdom Massive Series was there, Colin Keister, one of those drivers that dominated at Dover, just was not able to seal the deal. He also dominated when we were here last time at Talladega, unable to seal the deal then. But tonight, now could be the night for the driver of the number 17 Ford Mustang Sunny D entry. He's got Pope behind him, and then he's got the 38 of Blake Sinceros back there also, all lined up on that outside. And there is that Kroger 47 now. He's found himself somehow back to the front of the field here as he is that 4th car to the outside lane.
Yeah, he's got it right there behind the number 7 as they work across the stripe. I believe that is the number 7 of the Sinceros as they work across here, as they work through turns 1 and 2. Down the backstretch, it's still Keister showing the way, but Bass has got that splash and go graphics number 46 right to the bottom, or the 41 right to the bottom, glued to that out of bounds line. So you can't go below that yellow lines. That is frowned upon here at the Talladega Super Speedway as they work through the corner. 1 car out wide. That is the 06 of Daniel Simmons. He tried to make that 3rd line work, but he'll tuck it back in line behind the 96 of Armstrong.
Coming back across the line here, Colin Keister getting another good shove out to the front, so he'll lead now his third lap this evening since that Sunny D machine. And now I've noticed that Sunny D machine of Colin Keister, though, he has got to that point where he has led here tonight now 3 laps, the last 3 times by, and he has not once tried to go down there in front of Ty Bass. And maybe team orders by the Ford Mustang group?
Possibly, as they work down here, there's the Sunny D still showing the way as he'll work to the outside of Bass, but deeper in the field, Armstrong working that outside line. They were 3 wide. Now it's the 54 of Harris. He'll go 3 wide off of turn number 4 as they work down here through the trioval. The number, trouble. Armstrong down in the grass with Bose. They'll keep it straight. Come back up onto the speedway. Right in front of traffic, 97 of Baumgartner going to go around. Yellow flag is going to come out.
So caution flag number 3 going to wave there as Bose and Armstrong were down there. Someone else involved in that, it looks like that was Michael Baumgartner. He had nowhere to go. He wasn't even wrapped up in that incident. Unfortunately, he's going to be the one that probably gets the worst of it. As you see the one, he is perfectly fine rolling down the back straightaway here. Maybe just a little right rear damage. Armstrong, though, he was the one that went through the grass. The whole front end of that Chevrolet unsponsored 96 was up in the air here as he took it down through the grass, and we'll rewatch that here in just a second. So cars going everywhere. Let's throw it back and find out what happened there. You see the contact between the two in the trioval. Looks like they were just going for the same piece of real estate. There you see the 1, and now you're going to see, there comes the 96. That's 97 tries to check up and kind of not get involved. But that 97 Ford Mustang there of Baumgartner, just nowhere to go. Or throw it back, I believe, a little bit farther here. And we can ride on board with the 97 of Michael Baumgartner. You can see exactly what he saw off the seat camera. You saw him lift, and he thought, you could tell he anticipated it. He lifted, and then he went to get back in it, and then he saw the red 96 machine of Armstrong come back up onto the track, and there was just nowhere where he was going to go. He tried to avoid that slower car, but Al, at 200 miles an hour, let's be real here. It's not an easy task to slow these machines down.
No, it definitely is not, and it's one of those things where when something happens, it happens super quick here at the Talladega Super Speedway, and, well, when it happens, you kind of just go along for the ride. The driver's doing a good job. Looks a little bit of right front damage on the 96 of Armstrong's car. Is taking a peek at the rest of the car. Michael Baumgartner with a little bit of front end damage. I believe he's already in his backup car, so tough break for the 97 of Michael Baumgartner as he's done some extensive work and coming back out onto the racetrack with his coach, number 97.
So it's going to be fuel only for a lot of these drivers here once again. It looks like a new candidate possibly here towards the front of the field. You see the 24 tonight, the all-black 24 Chevrolet. That's going to be Bowden, Colin Bowden. He usually works pretty good once him and the 17 get locked together. It's usually hard to separate them. 17 being Colin Keister here tonight. He is now going to be running in the 11th position after the green flag stint. But coming out first, it's going to be Deeney there in the 47, but we'll see if that's actually going to hold, as I believe he was down pit road too soon. So we're waiting for the iRacing timing and scoring to really come back through. But Al, talking about iRacing, what an event we had yesterday from the North Wilkes-Barre Speedway down there. And breaking news coming out yesterday that it was also coming out here to the release of all the members on iRacing for purchase. And then today, even more news breaking that, hey, you can get it tomorrow.
Yeah, I was going to say North Wilkes-Barre, it's North Wilkesboro. I know that's, you're in Pennsylvania there, and the Wilkes-Barre Penguins, the AHL affiliate of the Pittsburgh Penguins. But, yeah, no, I'm very excited for North Wilkesboro. They put on one heck of a show. What a good way to go end the NASCAR ePro Invitational Series. And I really think it's really done a good number for the sim racing community, just to show that this isn't, a video game. This is a simulator that people take it seriously. As you see, we got big money on the line here tonight, so it's not anything to take lightly, which I think a lot of people didn't really know what it was when it first came out, and now we got some news breaking with North Wilkesboro going to be available for purchase tomorrow. And then not only that, they announced yesterday that we're getting a 1987 Monte Carlo and Thunderbird. So how cool is that? I mean, the iRacing really has come a long ways over the last couple years or so, and it's good to see that them, listening to I would say to most of the support out there, saying, hey, we want some older tracks, and how about Dale Jr. being a big advocate for that as well.
Yeah, one of the coolest things, I say coolest things and this and that, and what's cool to me is not cool to Al, and what's cool to Al definitely is not cool to me at all. But how about Dale Jr. being out there on each one of these laser scan tracks on iRacing, somewhere within the stands, maybe in a souvenir booth as he was yesterday? So if you do have the iRacing platform, I highly suggest you go out there, you try and find Dale Earnhardt Jr. out there within the, we'll call them Posse, all these Posse members that are out here at Talladega, or if it's North Carolina, or Rockingham or Sonoma, he's out there somewhere. Al, I've never been able to find him.
No, honestly, it's kind of like an Easter egg hunt. It's him and Steve Myers, or at least they're at every racetrack in the sim somewhere. So if you got a lot of free time on your hand, which some of us might due to the current situations, you can take and go to every track and try to find them. If you're in that 100% club, they're at every track. So it's kind of interesting. That was a nice little interesting tidbit that I found yesterday while watching that. But yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm excited to try North Wilkesboro once that comes out onto the service tomorrow.
Well, I know I'll have to buy it, Al, but I'm not sure if I'll be turning too many laps. We know the old right, left foot, gas, brake, turn left. Sometimes it just doesn't work out the greatest. That's why they continue to stick me up here, or they don't want to have to deal with me down there. Sometimes they say my theme songs is I come in like a wrecking ball. I don't quite know why. I don't get it.
Well, the last car that I fielded for you is still wadded up in the corner of the shop. So we'll just keep you in the booth for now.
But you said you're getting it back together, and we're going to go racing again, right?
Yes. Just waiting for those funds to come in because, let's just face it, we need a whole new car.
But we're going racing again.
Well, hopefully, if Johnny in the pace car here turns those lights off.
Oh, the pace car driver here at Talladega is How about, Al, do you remember back in the 80s? It was before my time, maybe a little bit closer to yours. Talladega, when the old pace car got kind of hijacked for a couple laps?
I do. I wasn't quite around for that, but I do. That was probably one of the best stories from Talladega Superspeedway that I have heard over the years. This just kind of shows you how lax things were back then, where you could have access to the pace car, whether it was warranted or you kind of just made it happen. It still happened, and go out there and turn some laps. And, I'm not sure if there was any suds involved in that decision-making or not, but we do know how the Talladega Boulevard gets on, nighttime. Well, the racing isn't happening, so we had to drag you from there tonight.
Well, hey, I was going to be enjoying it, but you know what I'm going to enjoy even better? Your good old buddy down there driving the pace car turned the lights off. Well, the Ford Mustang lights broke. I can't really tell which one, and that's neither here nor there. But what I can tell you, it's going to be Yarborough and Benefield crossing the start-finish line first when we get back to the green flag conditions. Then it's going to be Bowden and Sinceros there. Then it's going to be Sadler and Simmons, Keister and Camper. And then it's going to be Bass and Boatwright.
And then it'll be the 51 of Malik Ray making his way up inside, almost to the top 10. First time we've talked about that driver and that number 51, Rowdy Energy number 51. That is Malik Ray. And then Jonathan Lewis, Justin Harris, our outside pole sitter, still hanging out there, running in the 13th position 14th, though, so we'll start on the outside of the 22 of Jonathan Lewis. So very early on in this race, we're just about a third of the way through, or just over a third of the way through. 75 laps is the scheduled and advertised distance. Johnny the Pacer going to make it down the pit road, and that leaves the field in Austin Yarbrough's hands as we're going to go back green flag racing here at the Talladega Superspeedway.
Still got 41 or 40 drivers still on the track. 39 of them still on the lead lap, as Hermie Sadler is your final car on the lead lap. They are all out there in this group here. So 40 cars going to come back up to speed, come to life here at Talladega. The green flag is back out, and Austin Yarbrough once again going to continue to lead. Now here is Benefield. He's going to drop down to the bottom. Now, we saw this before. A lot of these guys going to play nice for a moment or two. They're going to at least try to get back around here to the start-finish line, and then I expect to see the 2 and 3, possibly even 4 wide here tonight, because here comes Sinceros back to the outside already.
Yes, Sinceros going to pop out to the outside first, and all he's got is a Sonny D number 17 of Keister going with him. So they'll run side by side. Elliott Sadler right to the back bumper. That 24 of Bowden as they start to get doubled up here. It takes them about half a lap to get up to full song. And that 7G Fuel number 7 of Sinceros working the outside. Yarbrough holding on to your race lead. The outside line formed up 5 cars deep as they come across the stripe.
Yeah, they're just about 3 wide. Look at that. Before we complete lap 1 back to green flag racing, here comes Elliott Sadler. He's going to go right to the middle. He's going to see if he can find the back bumper of that G Fuel of Sinceros. So they are still 3 wide to the outside. It's one Colin, followed by another Colin. Colin with the C is leading that outside train there. Then it's Sinceros, and then it's Sadler there trying to now. Here comes the Collins down to the inside, and now they're going to split apart. One's going to control the inside, one's going to control the outside, and there's still a 3rd lane out there. I believe that is going to be the 05 or the 06 of Simmons, as they're, oh, look at Elliott Sadler trying to stick the nose of the 2.
Yeah, trying to make it 3 wide, as you would think that this is the last lap. Bowden somehow, and that 24 going to jump down in front of the 51 of Yarbrough. He'll lead this lap at the stripe. He went from 3rd to 1st in 1 lap. Now they're side by side back there, the 17 of Keister trying to get that Sonny D machine up to the front here. Now Yarbrough's going to peek out from the 2nd position. He'll jump out in front of the Keister, and with that momentum he saw coming to them, is they're side by side down the backstretch. Now Yarbrough takes your race lead and then bails out in front of Keister.
Yarbrough trying to bring the Legacy Esports group back. Oh, but look, the 17 going to get down there, and I think Yarbrough had to lift there. That's how close that was for Keister to get down in front of Yarbrough. They made it happen. Now, could Elliott Sadler get back to the point? Yarbrough's going to jump out of line. That's going to put the Collins back together, nose to tail in the tri-oval. And then, who is that? That is going to be the 06 of Simmons. He's still hanging on up here. Looks like Ty Bass got shuffled out, and now he's going to take the splash and go forward. Mustang to the back of the field here. I think he thinks that this may be a little bit too crazy for himself just yet.
I'm on the edge of my seat. My heart is pounding as Yarbrough going to slice it down in front of the 83 of Benfield. Not even a slice of cheese between those 2 cars, I don't think, when he made that move, as they work down in the turn number 3. It'll be Elliott Sadler leading the outside line with the 06 of Simmons, giving him a push as that inside line working through turns 3 and 4. Now Bowden going to get shuffled out to the outside. Here comes Yarbrough back to the inside. These guys are putting it on a show at the front of this one as they work around the number 7 of Greg Petrie and that Pennzoil. Number 7 as they work it through the tri-oval stripe. And it'll be Keister that led that lap here. Lap 31 here.
Crash in turn number 1. It looks like the 7 of Petrie, who was getting a lap, or getting lapped, got into some of these drivers, and the caution flag number 4 is going to wave here on lap 32 out of the 75 scheduled at Talladega. And that Pennzoil machine, his night went from bad to even worse, and a couple of these leaders also going to be wrapped up and involved in this one before the halfway point. We're going to see who's still going to have that quick repair left in the bank. But as we sit here, let's throw her back real quick and find out. There we see, you see the 7 Pennzoil machine to the outside. This is in the tri-oval on the front straightaway. All your leaders are going to be able to get through. Where does it go wrong, though, for the driver of the number 7? Oh, entering the corner, you saw him get into the wall there. The 08 gets involved. I believe that was the 15 also getting involved. Clint Mills in his Mellow Yellow 01 machine. He gets involved in this one. So a couple drivers now going to have to go and use a quick repair for the second time here tonight.
Yeah, the field trying to catch up to Johnny Pace Car driver. He needs to back it down a little bit so the field will catch him. But, Roger, I don't know about you, but I threw the seat out the window because these boys out here putting on one heck of a show for us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network here tonight. How about the jostling, the cars moving around, the sliding down in front of each other with what I would say wasn't any room to do so, and they were able to keep it pointed in the right direction. A little bit of contact, a little paint rubbing going on, but these guys came to play tonight, and they have got it. They're racing on the chip as these guys are putting on one heck of a show.
They always put on a heck of a show. Now it's going to be Colin Keister and Colin Bowden coming down pit road here. They will bring their cars down, but it looks like Yarbrough is going to stay out here. So varying strategies. It's only been 9 laps since these guys have been onto pit road. So it's not like they need a bunch of fuel here. And I'm looking at it, I don't think they can go the rest of the way on fuel. So a handful of drivers. It looks like Yarbrough, Sadler, Simmons, Benefield, Harris, Hagler, Lewis, Boatwright, Heck, and Sinceros all going to stay out here as actually Sinceros takes a quick left-hand turn and he takes it down to the pit road. So the varying strategies again, how we see it time in and time out here with the Possum Kingdom. Everybody has their own spotter and everybody has their own mind made up of what they're going to do.
Is listening to Race Control, just kind of listen there. But yeah, Roger, these guys all on their own strategy. They have, spotters up into the stands, helping them tell if they're clear or not. It's a team effort here when you come racing on Sunday night here at Talladega Super Speedway, and you really gotta have that trust factor. Like when you race super speedways, do you have someone, or do you let the end game also provides a spotter if you choose, or do you like to have that someone in your ear that isn't going to tell you something that isn't possibly happening?
I usually have a group of guys that I'm working with. I don't have a real-life spotter when I come to Talladega or Daytona. I do use the Chad Canal spotter pack that you can find over there at the dwwarehouse.com. Go over there, and I do have, I'll say the cuss pack. I won't tell you. They do have a clean version in case you are not fond of some of the language that Chad Canels and Jimmy Johnson have kind of spoken back and forth with each other over the last couple years. Maybe that's why they're no longer working together. But I do have Chad Canels usually in my ear, and I usually work with a group of guys, and we're usually able to tell each other if we're clear or not, or come on down. You got the spot if you want it. If you want to stay out there, you're good. Let's take it 3 wide. Heck, let's just go to the front. And, well, usually I go to the front, and I've been spun out of the lead a couple of these races here at Talladega.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most fun kind of racing you can do, but it's also the most nerve-wracking because there's so much that's out of your control that you can do. Honestly, is plate racing or whatever you want to call it. I still call it plate racing. This stuff is crazy racing. And so much is just out of your hand. As we're seeing here tonight, how many guys so far here tonight have gotten into some kind of trouble with racing that not of their own doing?
Well, quite a few. I can tell you that. A couple tempers have flared here at Talladega Speedway, or Super Speedway already. There you see the Elliott Sadler number 2 Sadler-sponsored Toyota. You do see a little bit of left front damage on that Camry. We'll see if that's going to slow him down at all. Adam Benefield is sitting right there in that 3rd spot. But Al, you're right. I still call it restrictor plate racing, or, I don't even know what you want to call it anymore because they don't have restrictor plates or spacers anymore, tapered spacers, where you can kind of hide some of your good old tricks. We've heard those through the years about how people have kind of hid some spacers down there and shaved them down. And no, cheating doesn't happen in motorsports, right?
No, absolutely not. I don't know what you're talking about.
But you know what other kind of super speedway we do have? It's the Possum Kingdom Super Speedway down there in Belton, South Carolina. Anybody down there in that area, they are racing. I don't know if they have fans right now that are possible being allowed into the track or not. But what I can tell you is down south, they are racing, unlike up here in Pennsylvania. Thank you, Governor Wolf. And, of course, up there, Al, you're not racing either in New York, so...
No. King Andrew.
King Andrew it is, yes. I gotta say, the guy is persistent, though. He's on TV 7 days a week.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. Informing us, I guess it's best to be informed with, so we can, be safe and hopefully get back to racing here soon. But I am very jealous if you're able to get down to the Possum Kingdom Raceway. I would strongly advise you to, as long as if you can do it safely and follow the guidelines that have been put in place for them, and so that way they can continue to race. So, check them out. Make sure you tell them that the Turn 3 Racing Network sent you from watching this race here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, as we're going to put 35 laps in the book. We are almost to the halfway point, and it's been a wild race so far.
Yeah, I mean, this is our fourth caution of the night. It came when a lap-down car was to the outside. Unfortunately, banked it off the outside retaining wall in turn number 1. See, even Racing Jason out there tuning in, he calls it just plain old pack racing. And, well, I'm good with that, Al. If you're good with that, the pack racing is always crazy. No matter where it is, whether it's the Possum Kingdom guys or, well, there's a driver out there tonight, like Elliott Sadler. He knows what pack racing is. There's also Malik Ray. He's from the iRacing Coca-Cola Pro Series. He knows what pack racing is with the iRacing Pros. And Hermie Sadler's out here, and a few other guys, I mean, scattered throughout the field that not only race in the Pro Division, whether it's iRacing or NASCAR, but there's some guys out here like I believe it was Austin Yarbrough that runs over at the Possum Kingdom. They all know how to pack race.
Well, that's obvious. They do it here, and they put on one heck of a show, swapping paint, putting tire marks down the side of these cars. Some of these look like they should have been at North Wilkesboro back in 87, the 90s, or even Martinsville here. We got the lights are out. Johnny Pacer has taken the lights off of the pace car, hopefully throwing them out for the night.
I'm just trying to write that down, Al. You got a new pace car driver every time we come live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We had Obi-Wan the other night. We had Derek the other week, and Tom and Jerry. I don't know where Jerry, if he was riding shotgun or what in that Ford Mustang. But, I mean, Johnny tonight here.
Yes, Johnny Pacer. We had Obi-Wander last Monday on May 4th. So... But yeah, Johnny Pacer here, getting ready to take the Ford Mustang down the pit road and hopefully park it and leave it there.
Who's waving the flag tonight?
That's we don't really know who that is. We'll call it Lopez, Kim Lopez, the flagger from the Xfinity Series here tonight, getting warmed up as she's going to get back to work here this coming Sunday, 1 week from tonight, the NASCAR Series. Back running at the Darlington Raceway, so she'll be back up in action in that flag stand.
Yeah, but right now, we're waiting on Tim Lopez to drop the green flag here for the Possum Kingdom Massive Series. $500 to win here tonight at the Talladega Super Speedway. It's that long, dreaded crawl, and there it is. Officially, the green flag is back out. Let's see. I think Sadler spun the tires a little bit in the number 2 machine to the outside, and now he's going to find a home, it looks like, down on the inside lane. Still running second. He is going to try and push Yarbrough out to the front here now as they have broken away a little bit. But, Al, you and I know there is no hiding at Talladega.
Oh, Sadler all over the back bumper. Yarbrough, as they work off of turn number 2. That outside line now starting to work as the 24 of Bowden going to jump out in front of the 17 of Keister as they work down the backstretch. That's the outside line. Kind of broken up a little bit. Not as organized as we have seen on the last restart. Your top 6 cars kind of single filing it out. Then it's back to single file behind them. It's a little bit of a gap between them as your top 5 starts to break away from the rest of the field.
Everybody trying to find a home, trying to find a dancing partner, but it will be Austin Yarbrough finding his dancing partner in Elliott Sadler once again. Adam Benefield right there, Daniel Simmons, Jonathan Hagler, and then it's going to be Bryce Boatwright, and now here comes I want to call them the Colin group. I mean, what really more could you call it? It's a Ford, it's a Chevy, it's a K, it's a C, it's Colin Keister, Colin in the 24, and I lost him off the timing and scoring. It's called Colin Bowden.
Yeah, you're alluding, because he's all the way up to the outside now, battling for your race lead to turns 3 and 4. They come off the corner, Bowden in that number 24. Kanos, number 24. He'll have the Sunny D machine ready to uncork it as they work down the front stretch here through the tri-oval. New race leader. This will be our 13th lead change of the night as the 24 of Bowden will lead it. Here comes the other 17. That looks like to be the number 17 of Justin Melblock. He'll work to the outside, and that Fastenal, number 17.
Well, usually we would see Bowden also in a number 17, but tonight he chose the 24. He takes the lead there from Austin Yarbrough, who's labeled as 43. It's 51 for anybody following along, though. That's just seeing the cars on track. Him and the butt kicker, Legacy Esports of Boozy Sportswear. 51 right now, the second car to the inside lane, but it is Bowden out front with Keister. And they're making it work, but now a couple more players down to the inside. I believe that was the 2 of Saller that jumped from the outside down to the inside there, that time out of turn number 4. Who's going to lead this lap as Colin down to the inside now? Someone going around.
Lead at the 22 of Jonathan Lewis has gone around, sits facing backwards as the field races by. Trying to get turned around in that number 22 car. Will stay clean and green right now. But a tough break for the 22 as he's fallen all the way back to the 38th. As they're still side by side. One car out of shape, able to hold on to it. That was Bowden in the 24 getting a nice push by the 51 of Yarbrough. These guys are racing like it's the last lap.
Well, it is getting closer to the last lap this time by. It'll be 40 laps in the books. That'll be 35 left to go. Look at everybody separate. Look at the 17s doing the dance. Now the caution flag is going to come out as it looks like a couple drivers towards the back of the field going to go around. It looks like Justin Johnson, and is that going to be the Outback number 4 of Nolan, as it looks like that Outback machine's trying to get himself out of the grass down there in turn number 4. So that'll be the 5th caution flag here of the night. We'll have to go back and see what just transpired. Let's hit the button, hit the switch, and oh, this happened actually already as we see the 4 down there. This happened way, way before what we just saw. We are watching this group right here. I'm not sure what was going on, but it looks like the 28 goes down, gets the 44, then back up the track into a couple other ones there, Al. So maybe some tempers really flaring here at Talladega.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened. It's kind of odd looking. It's the way that I can explain that one. I'm not quite sure what was going on. Derek Keeter getting into the back of Justin Johnson. That sent him back up and got into the 4 of Starnes. And, well, it was just on from there. But another 3-car. Only 3 cars involved in that one, which could have been much bigger. But we're slowed again with under 30 laps left to go here tonight. Or just over 30 laps, excuse me. 32 laps left to go as our caution flies for the 5th time.
So as we're under the caution flag, we'll be right back here tonight with the Possum Kingdom Massive Series 500 to win here from the Talladega Super Speedway.
outside wall.
He's going to pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing
Race lead to the inside goes Logan Clapman is going to touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save.
Look to the outside as Cronkite goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
Eye trying, there's contact though.
slide left of the racetrack. Chris Benner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact. He's going to try and make the move around the upset the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cutback here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schubert, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the Talladega Super Speedway. You're watching the Possum Kingdom Massive Series, $500 to win right here from Talladega. It's Muth up in the booth, and alongside me, it's the man from the upstate New York. It is Al Smith. Al, we just talked while we were away. 2 drivers on a different strategy compared to the rest of the field. Going to lead us back to green.
Yeah, it'll be Clint Mills and that mellow yellow 01 and the number 96 of Daniel Armstrong. They have elected to stay out on this halfway through a fuel run, and word on the street is the 01 of Mills out of a backup car. So he's in his backup car, the primary car wrecked for the night. So a little risky business, but I guess the only place to be to kind of stay out of trouble is maybe out front is Johnny Pacer, going to hopefully get off the racetrack here as the lights are out, as he'll make that hard left-hand turn. So it'll be Mills and Armstrong leading the way. He's got the Rowdy Energy, number 51 of Malik Ray, up inside the top 5 for the first time here tonight, as he'll start in the 3rd spot, and outside of him will be the 06 of Simmons. So here we go, green flag clenched in the hand of Kim Lopez's little wave, and we're back underway here at the Talladega Super Speedway.
Yeah, a little bit farther west and north is somebody up into the outside wall. I believe that is Pope, but it looks like he's going to be able to hang on to it. So we're staying green as we come down into turn number 1. It is going to be Clint Mills, and here comes the iRacing Pro, the Rowdy Energy drink number 51 of Malik Ray. He's got Yarbrough on his tail, and that is going to be the number 2 of Elliott Sadler. Nobody goes down to help the mellow yellow, number 01 of Mills. Now they will snake in front of him, and Mills going to go from leading at the drop of the green to not even a half a lap out front under the green flag circumstances. He falls back to the 4th spot. Here comes Daniel Simmons now to the outside, and there is Daniel Armstrong also in his red 96. He's got a brand new car underneath him, and he is now coming back to the front.
He is in the number 6 of Bryce boat right in that unit first, number 6 car. We saw him go for the slide for life through the grass earlier on in the event. He's inside the top 10 as they'll work to the inside of the number 06 of Simmons. Up front, it is the 51 of Malik Ray showing the way as they work off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. It'll still be Ray showing the way. Yarborough pushing him with Sadler running in third.
Fourth now is going to be for the first time is that Hunter Heck in the Miller Lite number 2 machine. As things are a little bit sketchy back towards this, looks like the 11th position on back. You got Ryan Joyner here, Jonathan Hagler, Blake Sorrenzos. You got Bowles back here, Bass, Johnson, C. Wright, all of them kind of all up underneath this little hornet's nest here. They're come back across the line. It'll be 28 laps to go here, and the Rowdy Energy Drink 51 gonna lead another lap. Mills, though, is trying to bring back the mellow yellow 01 Toyota as he is to the outside here. He's got that 06 of Simmons pushing on his back bumper, and then there is the 96 of Daniel Armstrong as now Yarbrough going to go to the outside. He is going to try and slice in front of Mills. Mills had to check just a little bit, and now here comes the butt kicker 51 to the front.
And the 51 of Yarborough trying to get back out in front of Malik Razor side by side. Mills all over the back bumper. That butt kicker number 51 as he'll work down here off of turn number 4 and do the tri-oval. It'll stacked up side by side. Now it'll be Yarborough dropping down to the inside in front of Ray. That'll be our 18th lead change of the night.
Haymaker after haymaker after haymaker here with the Possum Kingdom Massive Series. They always put on their gloves, they put on their dancing shoes, and they come out. Look at Malik Ray. He's going to be down on the apron. What is wrong with the 51 of Malik Ray? He is down. He is losing positions left and right. That car is not up to speed. He is under power, and it looks like he's going to go from that inside row inside the top 5 all the way back outside the top 25 here.
Wonder maybe he got it a little bit too hot being tucked up behind Yarborough there, but now he seems to be back up in the speed. Maybe he didn't like what he saw up there. We talked about that earlier on in this race. If you don't like what you see, kind of you can bail out of it, but we are now going to be working almost 25 laps to go as they work here across the line. They'll be lap number 49 on the book, so working lap 50. So next time by, it'll only be 25 more circuits to go. So wondering what's going on with the 51 of Ray as Mills is taking over your race lead.
Yeah, Mills takes the lead. Now here comes the other 51. It's actually the 43 in the timing and scoring of Austin Yarbrough. He's going to come to the outside, down the back straightaway. There's a third lane brewing towards the back, and that is being led by Robert in the Lowe's 48 Chevrolet. He's bringing both of the Collins along with him. Keister and Bowden to the outside, and now it's going to get another taker. Not sure who that was, but he got shuffled right back down to the bottom. That was Ryan Joyner. He went to go to the outside to jump up in front of that lane. He got a little bit of a bump, and that 15 went right back down in line. That could have been the big one here early.
Yeah, got the car really upset as now Yarborough takes over your race lead side by side back there for your number 2 spot. Is Mills and Simmons with that 06 car working the outside with Armstrong. In that 96 working to the outside. So one car going around the 51 of Yarborough. He gets put down and spun on the backstretch. We stay clean and green. We've got him 3 wide down to the turn number 3. Elliott Sadler working to the inside. Now the yellow flag will come out. And 51 of Yarborough got 1 from your race lead.
So Yarbrough going to go around with a little bit of a help down the back straightaway, and then the caution flag going to wave here for caution number 6. We're throw it back here on our old replay and see what we can find. And there you see the 51 gets a little help. He goes down, touches the inside wall with that left front. He's going to come back, and then he just stops there on the track, and that's when the yellow flag is going to come out. So just a little bump in the wrong spot here tonight at Talladega. Going to bring out our 6th yellow flag of the evening. Now from this point on, though, these drivers will be able to make it the rest of the way on fuel.
They will be able to, and a little bit of left front damage on the 51 butt kicker Legacy Esports number 51 for Yarbrough. Left rear damage as well. How much will that affect if he doesn't come down pit road? He can come down pit road. He does have, I believe, a backup car in the stable. I see the crew kind of taking a look at that. Not sure if they'll work on it or kind of save it as we are now working lap number 52. 51 are complete here of the 75 scheduled event of the full event here. So there's a little bit of bump draft, and we saw how on edge these cars seem to be here tonight, and a little bit of a bump draft going wrong here at the front of this one as the 51 of Yarborough has gone for the spin cycle, and did a good job not to get bounced back out on front of there. That could have been much bigger and a good driving sense to kind of just come to a stop there, wait for the field to go by. Did bring out the yellow, but better than wrecking a bunch of other race cars along with yours.
Yeah, and I think that damage might be, it's going to be enough to slow down that 51 of Yarborough, so he'll probably come down pit road here. We'll see as there he comes with his Legacy Esports butt kicker Bruzy sportswear machine. He'll come down pit road, but one driver staying out. That was at the front of the field, and that's going to be Simmons. He did not even attempt to bring down the 06 to pit road. So he'll keep the Max Pappas entry out here and see if he can finish this night off with the fuel that's in his Max Pappas Ford Mustang. Armstrong is second. Sadler is running in the third position. Hunter Heck is fourth. Bryce Boatwright is rounding out your fifth position. That's how they run right now inside the top five here. And when we go back racing, it'll be under 20 laps to go.
Wait, we're not even that close to the end of the racing like this?
Yeah, I mean, these boys from the drop of the green, you say go, they go.
Yeah, been a great race so far here tonight. We've had, our fare of yellows, but, luckily or unluckily, depending on if you are the driver that was there, we've had, 6 cautions for 16 laps, 21 lead changes, though, so it's been very dicey up front. And watching here the crew working diligently on the 51 of Yarborough. They are pounding out the dents on this car, so they're going to save the backup car for later on in this event, just in case they need it. Might as well. The pace laps here are well over a minute, so looks like they've got all the damage fixed the best they can on this primary car for Austin Yarborough, which has been a very fast car, so I don't blame them for not wanting to get out of that one.
Be interesting to see, though, who is going to be working with who. We can tell you that this driver right there in the Sunny D Ford Mustang will definitely be working with that man right there in the black 24. It's the Collins Express. We're going to call that now. Just give him a nickname every time you want to talk about those two, Al. They enjoy the nicknames. But a little bit farther back now, Malik Ray, who usually seems to find himself coming up through the field. He's going to restart back there right around the 25th, 24th position. Then you got some of the guys like Ty Bass. He's back here. He's been very quiet all night with his splash and go number 41. He's sitting back in the 34th position. So he has a lot of ground to make up. Can he do it with under 20 to go?
Well, we saw him have speed earlier on in the event with that 41 splash and go graphics car of Ty Bass. Then I think he's under that play of, all right, when is the big one going to happen? We've had a bunch of, or not a bunch, we've had a few, a little bit over a handful of these single car to, very small multi-car wrecks. We haven't seen the big one that everybody dreads when we come to the super speedways. Is he just waiting it out, trying to save his car and see if he'll make it through there? But, right now, Roger, I kind of like his play, hanging out there. We've known he's had speed. He was inside the top 5, challenging for the lead early on in this race, and then we've kind of been like, oh, we haven't talked about him. But here we are, Ty Bass running back here in the 34th spot in that car. I think he's got the right strategy, and he's back there with a lot of fast cars as well. So I think when they say it's time to go, I think it'll be time to go.
Well, we'll find out who the dancing partners are real quick. For all you Austin Yarborough fans, it looks like he is back out there, and he did not use a quick repair, Al, so I don't know if he either didn't have one from an earlier incident or maybe he forgot to uncheck it, because that does happen to a lot of drivers here on the iRacing platform. I know every time it gets me, I sit there like, really? It was just a little bump. It would have been all right car-wise, but it looks like Yarborough not using a quick repair.
No, and he's working the apron right now, so maybe getting caught back up to where he needs to get put in the line here, but not quite sure what Yarborough where he's going, but they did work on the left front and the left rear of that 51 car, so not quite entirely sure where or what they are doing, but he is back up here. Now, up on the racing surface is the 51 of Yarborough, so trying to listen to the race control as they're getting all settled out here. I think we're going to get ready to go back racing here pretty soon.
Well, when we go back racing, it'll be Simmons, Armstrong, your front row. Then it'll be Sadler and Heck, Boatwright and Johnson behind them as they all try and get sorted out to see who's going to restart. Where the iRacing pace car lights do get turned off by Johnny Pacer. So the iRacing Mustang will have to go back down pit road here next time by. And that's going to leave us with exactly 20 laps of green flag racing. But before we get there, we got to thank the Possum Kingdom for everything they do here on the iRacing platform. And not only on iRacing, but in the real world down there in Belton, South Carolina. The super speedway of go-karts where they host, you name it, they got it. Heavy, super, outlaw, pro. Even you, they'd let you out there in a rookie cart.
Oh, believe it or not, I've had my fair share in the go-karts up here in the Northeast. So never did make it down to Pennsylvania and further south there, but I have a bunch of friends in the industry that have. So, and they talk very highly of the Possum Kingdom Speedway. So kind of a small world after once you start talking with my friends out here in the New York State that are into the go-kart racing industries and whatnot. So it's I had nothing but good things to say. So definitely check it out if you're in the area or can travel down there to race with them. Give it a go, and they say it's a very, very fast racetrack.
Is it as fast as Talladega Super Speedway, though?
In a go-kart, I would say yes. Have you ever raced go-karts?
No.
Well, it's like it's very fast, and the G-forces. It's hard to describe what it's like. It's just very fast. A lot of stuff going on, and things happen very, very quick in a go-kart, and they're a lot of fun. I miss it, but this is the next best thing, I suppose.
No go-karts on track here, though.
No, and neither is Johnny Pacer. He's taking that down pit road. We're going back green flag racing.
Heck yeah, brother. Here we go. It's going to be Daniel Armstrong to the outside. It's going to be Daniel Simmons. The Daniels are wild at the front of the field. Here you got Hunter Heck in the number 2 Miller Lite machine, and then it's going to be the Xfinity driver of Elliott Sadler. Retired Xfinity driver, I should actually really say. And the pace car, a little bit of a checkup on the outside lane. Now the green flag is going to come out, and we are back to green flag racing, I believe, as everybody comes up through the gearbox. 20 laps to go here tonight at Talladega to win yourself $500. And it's going to be all Daniel Armstrong getting a huge shove by Elliott Sadler. Now the caution flag is going to come out once again. Big wreck down here in turn number 1 and 2. Looks like that's the 08 of John Kinder as he has gone around trying to get up the pace, speed, and he's going to tow it back. So let's throw it back on the replay. We're going to go over top here. We're going to watch this 08 of Kinder machine. Malik Ray trying to come up the outside. They were 4 wide at one point, and let's see what happens as they're 4 wide coming into turn number 1. Door slamming there, the number 1 of Bowles, and I believe that is the 47 Kroger entry here tonight. They all come together as they were 4 wide in turn number 1.
Well, we were just talking about how the big one hasn't reared its big, ugly head here tonight, and well, unfortunately, that's going to wad up quite a few of our drivers here tonight, Roger, but they were 4 wide on that restart.
Yeah, 4 wide. We talked about it. They were going to be 4 wide at one point here tonight. One way or another at Talladega, 4 wide is going to happen on that restart, though, as everybody was trying to really jockey for positions here at Talladega. They just kind of found each other, and these cars, they are so aerodynamic, I don't want to say I don't know. I mean, you get close to each other, you can feel the air. Yes, it's a simulator, but you can definitely feel the air between those cars, and you can see it right there, play factor in that one. So the question is, will anybody come down pit road here to give up some track positions? They're going to be able to save a little more fuel. It'll be Simmons, Sadler, Heck, Boatwright, and none of those drivers coming down. It's a huge distance back to the next driver. Running back here in 8th, as actually John Johnson does come down. Or, sorry, Jason Johnson, as we're watching John Lewis in the 22 machine. Remember, back a little while ago, John went for a little bit of a spin in his 22 Chevrolet. He was stuck on the banking for a little bit, and he got the ship righted, and now he is back inside the top 10. He is running in that 7th position. Colin Keister looks like he's coming down. It's going to be a splash and go for that Ford number 17.
Interesting, some strategy plays here. Taking a look at the last time people were on pit road. Daniel Armstrong at 96, 25 laps ago. I imagine he can probably stretch it a little bit further with the amount of yellow flags since he's been last on pit road, but at some point he's going to have to come down pit road. I do not believe that he is going to be able to make it on this tank of fuel regardless of the amount of laps left in the race. So what is the strategy call if you're in the pits of the 96? Now, obviously, we're up here in the booth for a reason, Roger. So I've been fired off the pit box multiple times. Not out of the seat yet, but it's coming, I have a feeling.
Yeah, I heard the other week when you made the call for give me 4 tires, I heard that was also a oops, but that's why you're up here.
Right.
But, I mean, if you're the crew chief or whatnot on that 96, you probably want to be bringing Daniel down unless he's got an extra thick fuel line. And we talked about earlier, and nobody ever cheats in motorsports, and, you know, you're only cheating if you get caught. So Daniel Armstrong going to stretch it farther than anybody has here tonight. We'll see if it's going to be stretched long enough, though, that he can make it to the end of the race under green. The question being, though, if we head into overtime here at Talladega, will he have enough fuel then? That's going to be the real question of the night.
Yeah, I think it's already super tight, but $500 on the line here for the winner of the Possum Kingdom Speedway 75 at the Talladega Super Speedway now. As the field works down into here. Now it looks like Armstrong, well, he's going to stay out. I thought maybe he's coming down pit road, but yeah, he faked me out as well. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be, let's see, we're going to have under probably about 15 laps to go when we go back green flag racing. So it's going to be pretty close to going 40 laps on a tank of fuel. Now saving, I can definitely tell he is clutching and turning the car off, so that's saving a bunch of fuel as well as they work around. Daniel Simmons is still your race leader. And Elliott Sadler, he's been bad fast here tonight in that number 2 car and that paint job done by his son. So very nice looking race car out there in that number 2 car. So but Simmons is your race leader, that MPI, number 06 Ford Mustang. And it's going to be a wild finish. These guys were 4 wide on the last restart with 20 to go. This next restart's going to be under 15 to go. Do they go 5 wide?
If you can fit it, why not? What's the old saying? If it fits, it ships?
I guess you could put a little extra, Lucas Oil grease on there, or Pennzoil, or Mobil 1, and just shove it in there, I guess.
Well, that's what they tell me, but, you know, you talk about Elliott Sadler having a good run here tonight at Talladega. Elliott hasn't been on the iRacing service for very long. He was green. I remember a couple weeks ago, I believe it was Dover, when we brought you live the Possum Kingdom Dover race. I think that was actually one of Elliott Sadler's very first races on iRacing itself, and he had himself a pretty good showing at Dover. And then a couple weeks ago, last week to be exact, I was watching Fox Sports 1, Al, and I saw the old Elliott Sadler out there in an IROC event on FS1, which it came down to him and 2 other drivers at the start-finish line to win that one.
Yeah, that was a very epic battle that they put on there, and So Sadler's gone very quick, got back into this or gotten into it very quickly, and has adapted very very well. You know, which is a racer's way of doing things, I suppose. You take and you figure it out, and then you get going pretty good and whatnot. So it's interesting. I like the progress that we have seen, not only with Elliott Sadler but other drivers as well that are out here racing as they've worked their way up through and the art form. It is an art form to race here on these super speedways and how to manage those runs and how quick the car sucks up to the car in front of you and those bumps that will get you loose and how to hold on to those cars. It's everybody's super speedway. It's easy. It's not as easy as it looks that these guys are making it look like. As the pace car lights have gone out once again, we're going to double them up. With coming to the stripe, it'll be 15 laps to go here before the fat lady sings.
So, Al, you're telling me I can't just hold it flat to the floor, turn left, and just say, here we go?
You can, but I'm not sure how well you'll finish. It might end up like the car in the corner of the garage here that you've wadded up for me.
Al, I told you. It was a possum that ran out in front of me. I didn't want to hit the possum. And the wall just jumped out in front of me.
It happens, but, you know, we're trying to piece it back together, get you back out on the racetrack one of these days.
That's why you haven't let me race the go-kart. You know, you keep talking about it. I mean, accidents happen, Al.
They do, but they seem to happen an awful lot for you.
You're kind of nagging on like my mother, but you know what that reminds me? We haven't wished all the mothers that are tuning in here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network a happy Mother's Day. Whether it's, you know, your little puppy like I have sitting next to me, or if you have one of your kids out there that are looking to get into iRacing that are tuning in tonight, watching, you know, maybe a dad or an uncle or a grandfather, maybe it's a brother. You know, but we really got to shout out to all the moms, and I don't believe any of us would have been able to do anything we have done in our lives if it hasn't been for our moms one way or another. So, Al, who do you think's going to win here on Mother's Day?
I think the mothers have already won.
That's very, very bold strategy, Cotton.
Well, I'm going to stick with it. I don't know. Hey, listen, these guys have been wild all night long. They've been 2, 3, 4 wide. We got 15 laps to go, $500 on the line, and it's Simmons going to bring us to the green flag. Let's see how this restart goes. Last one we saw a little bit of a traffic jamming, I guess you would call it. They were all anticipating that start as they come through the tri-oval. Green flag is ready to wave as we are going to get back green flag racing as it's back out. We're back underway.
So with the green flag waving, it'll be 15 laps to go here from the Talladega Super Speedway, and Simmons is going to get another great run, but look at the run that's coming to the outside. Armstrong going to go up the track a little bit. That's going to break the duo of the deuces up. That's going to be Elliott Sadler to the outside with Heck. They are coming, but look at that third lane to the outside. Here comes Malik Ray bringing up someone's around. That's going to be the 6 of Boatwright, I believe.
Yeah, Boatwright hard into the inside wall, down the backstretch. We still got him 2 and 3 wide. Green flag has remained out right now. No, we got more trouble up front. The 06 of Simmons around. There goes Cicero. Big pile up down at turn numbers 3 and 4. It's the big one at Talladega Superspeedway.
Wow, oh wow, oh wow is about all I can say on that one. There is a junkyard, there is a parking lot in turn 3. Dale Jr., please report to the Possum Kingdom here to pick up the trash here at Talladega. They have wadded it up. I mean, there are so many cars out. This is going to take us a long time to dissect really what just happened out there. Let's pick a car and see what happens here. They are 4 wide going down the back straightaway when this all really unfolds. There you see the 24 of Colin gets down into that 54, and then it is on. Look at Mills go up. He was kind of spinning around like a top. The 33 is involved of Cole Johnson. He's down there. I see the 3 of Grant, the 97 of, I believe, is that going to be Bumgardner? He is involved in that. The 7. Sinceros is involved. A ton of cars back here on the back straightaway. Let's throw it back and see if we can ride on board. This is going to be the onboard camera here with Clint Mills. Oh, it looked like Clint got a little help there as our gyro camera goes a little bit hectic with that one. You saw the 41 there of Bass was down to the inside. He was trying to just get away from all that action that was going on. It all started when Boatwright was turned, though. It kind of wadded up the field.
Yeah, they kind of got all jumbled up once that first number 6 Boatwright got kind of just turned sideways down the back stretch. They kind of jumbled everybody up. And then it looked like the number 96 of Armstrong made contact with the 06 of Simmons, and it was on like Donkey Kong at that point. A lot of cars up front all wadded up. And right now, your race leader is being shown to be the number 2 of Elliott Sadler. Hunter Heck, the first time we've talked about him, the number 27, I believe that is the number 2 Miller Lite Special out there on the racetrack right now. He is going to be your number 2 spot. And then Malik Ray, we saw him bail out early on a few laps ago, and he's found himself back inside the top 3.
Yeah, and it looks like that Rowdy Energy Drink car looks to have a little damage, not only on the left rear, but maybe the deck lid also. So we will keep an eye on the Rowdy Energy Drinks 51 of Malik Ray to see if he's going to be, I don't want to say slow, or if he's hampered by that damage. A lot of drivers, though, had to come down pit road to take some quick repairs. And I believe Simmons was one of those drivers that came down pit road. I don't think he used a quick repair, but he had to get some fuel into that machine. A little bit farther back, Bowden, though, he came down pit road, so one of the Collins did. He was involved in that one. Had to use a quick repair. 4 tires and fuel for him.
Yeah, a number of drivers still on pit road getting their work. The number 3 of Chad Grant, Boatwright, that's still on pit road getting damage fixed on that number 6. Ryan Joyner, Aaron Bowes, a couple drivers pulling their car behind the pit wall. The 96 of Armstrong, the 94 of Justin Noblock out of the race here following this last big one here down in turn number 3. They'll join the number 08 of John Kindler, Tommy Bowder in number 39, Mark Fleischer, and Jeremy Rice, all out of this race here as we are working closer to 10 laps to go. $500 on the line.
Well, with $500 on the line, we're going to take a quick break, though, here from Talladega once again, and we'll be back here to bring you the finish of the Possum Kingdom Massive Series tonight. $500 to win here from the Talladega Super Speedway.
Jason Hamilton. I'm Director of Racing Operations and Event Management for NASCAR. I'm also the Series Director for the eNASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series on iRacing and the eNASCAR Ignite Series on iRacing. We're here at Myrtle Beach Speedway for a test session for Zach and Max, the 2 champions from the eNASCAR Peak Series and the eNASCAR Ignite Series. They're testing late models in partnership with Rev Racing. Opportunity for them to come out and showcase the skills that they built on iRacing in the full-size stock car for the first time.
Got in the car, got the wheel adjusted. Zach's in the car now. Get that set up for him, and be ready to roll here in a little bit.
The tips we got were basically just to try and keep it on the bottom as best as possible, and that's going to be the easiest way to keep the car in one piece and just not make any mistakes.
You're off the throttle for a long time. You're off the throttle longer than you actually think you need to be, but the corners are so long. If you try to pick the throttle up too fast, it's just going to either jerk the car loose or make it tight and it jerks. Any other questions?
Nope.
We'll try it, and if you have any trouble, need to talk about something, it's fine to stop. Always come off the racetrack like we did, a while ago.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, that was crazy. I wanted to open it up a little bit more, but it was all about just keeping the car in one piece, being safe.
I have no complaints on that. So just now that you're out, you can relax and think about what you did, and then we'll apply to the next round. Okay. Yeah, you did very well. Yeah.
Thank you.
You make me nervous, but you didn't. You didn't make me nervous this time. Yeah. So that was good.
You good with the height now? Yeah. All right.
What about your gears? You know where they're at? First, second, third, fourth? Okay.
What we're telling you now is what we've told him all along.
And you're doing fine.
Yeah.
You're doing perfect. We're just trying to help those little places to gain more. My name is Mark Green. I work for Rev Racing. I am the driver development coach for the team. They both got up to speed fairly good. The biggest thing, especially here at Myrtle Beach Speedway, it's the line that you run. This place it's old pavement. It's wore out. It doesn't have a lot of grip. So there's a different way of racing this racetrack, line-wise and driving-wise. So we had to work on those aspects of it with them. But they took to it very well, and they learned most of it. They still don't have it obviously down pat. After 6 hours, nobody would. Both young men did very, very well. We were very happy with our test today. No mishaps, and I think everybody had fun, and we had a good day.
So both Max and Zach did a great job. It was very impressive to see how quickly they got up to speed today. They took the coaching very well. We implemented a similar format to what we do with the Driver Diversity Combine, where we bring a large group of drivers in and evaluate them. We gave them a couple sessions in the morning to get up to speed. Both of them took those sessions, learned from the coaching that we had today with Rev Racing's Mark Green, and both of them built. And as we went on throughout the day, every time they went out, they got faster and faster, and we're actually turning some pretty competitive laps by the end of the day. I think it just...
Welcome back here, race fans, to Talladega, as we're getting ready to go back to the green flag racing. It'll be 10 laps to go. The iRacing pace car is down and away. It's just that long crawl. Elliott Sadler is our control car, and he already hits the gas, and he is gone. It'll be 10 laps to go at the line.
10 laps to go, and he's got a huge advantage over your second-place driver of Malik Ray. He's getting a nice push wide to 17 of Keister. Colin Keister giving Malik Ray. They're going to have a head of steam. They're going to switch it to the high line. Sadler hung out to dry as those top two will work the outside. Pass easily as they work down here is the number 8 of Pete Nagy, making the top 5 for the first time here tonight. Remember, early on in the race, he got wadded up in the first accident of the night as he finds himself in a 3-wide situation. Look at that 41 of Ty Bass. He is pushing the 83 of Benfield now on the outside, 3-wide off of turn number 3.
Yeah, we talked about Ty Bass just kind of hanging back, and now he's bringing Adam Benefield to the front as he is pushing with that Splash and Go 41 graphics machine. This time by at the line. Look at everybody coming back under the blanket. There is the 51 Legacy Racing butt kicker entry. That is Austin Yarbrough. Remember, he just went for a spin down the back straightaway about 10 laps ago, and now he has a chance here tonight at Talladega for a $500 payday.
Yarbrough restarted in the 12th position. Now he'll swing to the outside of the number 2 car. That is the 43, or the 27. That's Hunter Heck in that Miller Lite number 2 car. They're 3 by 3, 2 rows deep as they work through turns 3 and 4.
Malik Ray still going to be shown the race lead here when they come out of turn number 4 as their Sun on the front straightaway. Cloud cover back in 3 and 4. That's going to change the dynamic of the handling of the car, but it'll be heads up. One of them going to get turned. I believe, was that Elliott Sadler getting turned down to the inside as we stay green as both cars are down off the racing surface. It'll be 8 laps to go that time by at the line, and now it's Colin Keister. Now the caution flag is going to fly as Elliott Sadler is down on his lid, as I believe there's a couple other drivers now. Jonathan Lewis gonna also be down to the inside lane. That's our 9th caution flag, I believe, Al, here of the night.
Yeah, tough break for Elliott Sadler. Was running in your number 2 spot. Looked like he just kind of got hooked by the 22, possibly, as this sounds like the truck has it queued up here on the replay for us.
As we did. And then the truck had lost it. We are looking at for Elliott Sadler there. We already see him upside down. Let's see. There we have it. Now we have the replay in full force effect here. Watching the inside car there, the number 2. He is second in line. You see the 22 behind him. A bump gone wrong. Elliott was already on to the Malik Ray 51 rear end of that car. And then he got helped around by the 22. And Elliott looking like a turtle down there. And then something happened. I just saw it out of the corner of the eye out there on that replay. Lewis made contact with somebody else. We'll have to go back and who did Jonathan Lewis actually make contact with as he came back up the track like he was going to come on. As though it looks like, is that Boatwright making contact with the 22 of Jonathan Lewis?
Yeah, Lewis looks like he tried to get back out onto the speedway, and then Boatwright just had nowhere to go. Kind of, I don't know, got into the back of the 22 of Lewis, and as the 6 of Boatwright has gone behind the pit wall.
So it's been a battle of nutrition, I believe, here tonight, Al, as Kim Lopez flying the yellow silk here 9 times so far, and this one is yet to be over.
Yeah, she's, I wish she'd stopped at Johnny Pacer's, getting tired of going around here in the Ford Mustang pace car. But John Keister, I know John Keister runs go-karts. Colin Keister and the 17 Asia race leader, the number 2 of Hunter Heck, running second, and then is Malik Ray in your 51, Rowdy Energy number 51, rounding out your top 3 right now. But that was a wild, wild ride by Elliott Sadler here, bringing us underneath the caution once again. Not by his own doing. That's just one of those things. The car gets very light in that tri-oval, and the bump rung just kind of went wrong.
Yeah, and it looks like Elliott has loaded up, at least here in Discord, so going to be a disappointing finish here tonight for the number 2 of Elliott Sadler. Looking through the timing and scoring sheet, it looks like John Kinder is out of this event. Also, Daniel Armstrong and Bryce Boatwright are now officially out of the event. Sadler, for all you Elliott Sadler fans, he is still in his pit stall, but it's going to be a while until that car gets off the hook that it got put on after he was up and over here at Talladega. I think it's about 2 minutes, just about 2 minutes at least for a tow around this big track.
Yeah,
Must be a Ford tow truck.
No.
A Dodge? It dropped the transmission?
Possibly. That's a little bit better.
Interesting. But hey, either way, it's going to be 5 laps to go. Al, are we going to go to overtime here with this stint, or are we going to get at least 1 lap of green flag racing?
It's going to be tough to see. We'll see what Johnny Pacer and Race Control say about that. Hopefully, we'll get an attempt before going into overtime. Hopefully, we will not need the overtime here tonight at the Talladega Super Speedway for the Possum Kingdom 75, as the pace car will come underneath the stripe here. It'll be 5 laps left to go in the race, so we'll see what happens. Lights still on the Ford Mustang. 5 laps to go. You have Austin Yarbrough, who has made his way back inside the top 5. We've known how fast his car has been. We got Hunter Heck in the number 2 car, 29 laps on the speedway since he's been last down pit road. We know his fuel tank is getting a little bit on the lower side. The yellow flags are probably aiding him to be able to go a little bit further here in this stint. But if you're a competitor and you're keeping an eye on that kind of information or being told that kind of information, are you a little bit worried to work with Heck, wondering if he'll stumble on fuel this late into a fuel run?
Well, I think if you're this late into a fuel run, there's been a ton of cautions here with under that 20 to go. I believe 4 of our cautions have come with 20 or fewer laps. So how many green flag laps are really on that tank of fuel? That's going to play a huge factor in that determination of being how far you can push your fuel tank here. We know everybody else that is scattered through the field here is going to be good on fuel. I think at this point, I would push. I'd push that car.
Yeah, I think fuel might not be such an issue right now. If we get into a couple overtime situations, then possibly becomes again, but they haven't been up to full song for very many laps in a row here since the 20 laps to go. We know it's time to go when the pushing and the shovings gets a little bit harder. And it's, cautions breed cautions here. But we have a lot of our front runners that kind of disappeared at the middle portion of this race back up here. We got Yarbrough. We have Benfield. We have the 41 of Bass. We kind of stopped talking about them in the middle portion of that race. I think their strategy of dropping to the back, trying to stay out of trouble, has come to fruition as now. They are looking at inside the top 5, top 10, and could possibly be a race winner here as they come across the stripe this time. We'll see if the lights go out on the Ford Mustang iRacing pace car driven by Johnny Pacer, and they do. So we are going to go back green flag racing. 4 laps remaining in the Possum Kingdom 75 here tonight at the Talladega Superspeedway.
Al, I was just told by an informant in my ear that since Hunter Heck is driving a Ford Mustang, I probably shouldn't gamble and push that car because usually the owners are the ones that are pushing them.
Well, we don't build seats on the tailgates of the Fords, just saying.
Just hand warmers.
Not even that. Aluminum doesn't get that cold, you know.
Ah, that's right. It just breaks. My bad. Aluminum's like in my can here with my koozie.
Right. Booth in the Booth koozie.
That's right. You can find those over at Turn 3.
Right. If you want one, how do you get one?
You just head on over there. You shoot the Turn 3 Racing Network Facebook page a little message, and we can get you pointed in the right direction to get that. Shirts, koozies, stickers. We got it all over there. Turn 3 Racing Network's got your merchandise to keep your beverages cool in the summer. But you know what's cool? Colin Keister. I bet he's not even sweating with that Sunny D machine. That's another Ford, but he's got plenty of fuel to feed the ponies of that one.
He does, and that's a nice looking ride there. Probably one of my favorite paint schemes out of the Roush Fenway group there is that's a replica of the car that Chris Buescher is driving this year. And at number 17. But
I still
right
think
now,
Keister is a Ricky Stenhouse fan.
Well, can't blame him. Yeah, listen, everybody is good when you're in that level. I like the car. Johnny Pacer, get off the racetrack. We want to go racing.
Yeah, it'll be 3 laps to go here as the iRacing pace car is down there making it to the pit road. So that means it'll be 3 laps to go here at Talladega Superspeedway to determine who's going to win this race here for the Possum Kingdom.
Green flag is back out. Malik Ray ready to go. He'll get to the back bumper at Keister, and he'll shove him to your race lead. And we're immediately back to yellow as they look like we have some issues back here in the field.
Yeah, I think a couple of these guys didn't quite get to the start-finish line. We'll see what the replay has in store for us. Looks like Huffman involved in this one. Keeter is involved in this one, and a handful of other drivers. maybe a little unhappy foes there as Keeter goes up and gives a little bit of a rub to Huffman. But let's see. The truck tells us we have it queued up and ready to go. Let's see what we can find here. Looks like a little bit of a jumbled restart for a couple of these drivers. Oh, there you saw the contact. The 4 and the 33 made the contact, and 77 of Huffman going to get turned. I believe that's the 00. But the 77 of Huffman stays on the track, and that's what's going to bring out the yellow flag here with just 3 laps to go at Talladega. And we are going to go to at least our first attempt at a green-white checker. So I believe somebody may have missed a shift there on that restart, Al. That's exactly what it looks like to put us under our 10th caution flag here of the night.
Yeah, getting up through the gears, maybe spun the tires a little bit. Coming through the green flag up to get back on their way is yellow flag waving for the 10th time here tonight at the Talladega Superspeedway. Tough break for some of these drivers. One driver getting caught up in that was for you Elliott Sadler fans. He was able to get back out onto the racetrack, but unfortunately it looked like him and the 22 once again making contact, trying to avoid the spinning melees in front of them on this last restart attempt. So the ghost had just been given up on Landon Huffman's number 77 is that one. But now, up front, it is Colin Keister. Malik Ray now going to start to his outside. The pay window is open as when the green flag will get back out here by Lopez in the flag stand. But it is Colin Keister, Malik Ray, and Hunter Heck, your top 3. Look who's sitting fourth. It is the number 41 Splash and Go Graphics. Number 41, that's Ty Bass. And Austin Yarborough in that Legacy Esports. Butt kicker, Brucey Ray Swear. Number 51, rounding out your top 5 as we get ready to go here once again. And what has been a pretty exciting race until the last third of the race here. It's been kind of feast or famine.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that, especially on these restarts at the end. What did I say? I think it was the last 5 yellows now have come out here in the last 20 laps of this event. So a rough one here tonight for the Possum Kingdom Massive Series while they have $500 on the line here at the Talladega Superspeedway. We are going to overtime, so it will be a green-white checker attempt number 1 coming at us when the lights on the iRacing pace car do decide to go off. And I'm just thinking, Al, I don't remember if I checked if there was 1 or 2 attempts at a green-white checker here tonight.
Yeah, I did not get that note from race control, and I'm trying to wave at them through our glass here up in the tower, practicing our social distancing, of course, here at the Talladega Superspeedway. But unsure of that, I know the last time that we ran here at the Talladega Superspeedway, it was a 1 attempt at the green-white checkered. So, well, I'll let you know this one. If the yellow flag comes out again and we go to another overtime, then we have 2 overtimes.
Wait, did you just come up with that on your own, Al?
I had a little help from the guys in the booth.
Very, very interesting here. Well, take a peek at it. Looks like right now 43 drivers logged into the Talladega Superspeedway to race here tonight for the Possum Kingdom Massive Series. And I'm taking a quick gander at it. 31 of them are still on track. 30 of them are on the lead lap. A couple of them are down pit road, like Huffman and his 77 machine. He's trying to get some repairs done yet.
Yeah, a few drivers on pit road been down there for more than 24 minutes working, trying to get their automobiles ready to back out onto the racetrack at this point. With the race coming to an end, not quite sure that might happen, as some of those were pretty torn up in the big one down in turn number 3, where we had about a 20-car melee well, bit up and chewed up some cars. Maybe some are headed to the graveyard on Dal Jr.'s property. We'll have to find out later on here, but the race cars are pacing up on the front behind Johnny Pacer, and he does not turn the lights off. I got a little excited there for a moment.
Al, I was excited. You were excited. But it's still a Mustang out front here tonight. So it'll be a Ford driven by Colin Keister. A Toyota driven by the 51 of Malik Ray. Then it'll be another Ford Mustang of Hunter Heck. Then it is going to be Austin Yarbrough in his Chevrolet. The first Chevrolet inside the top 10. He's going to restart there 4th. Then it's going to be... Or sorry, he'll restart 5th. Then it's going to be Adam Benefield there. Ty Bass also right there in that gaggle of cars when we go back to the green flag racing. Al, I asked you before, who do you got? Who's going to win this one?
I am unsure. I will guarantee it'll be the first car across the finish line when the checker flag waves. But who that is going to be, I don't have the slightest idea. We do know Keister's been fast. You cannot count out Yarbrough. We've seen him be able to push his way to the front, lead a bunch of laps. He's been very aggressive all race long, restarting in the 5th spot. They got 3 laps to get it done once the green flag comes out. Green, white, checkered attempt number 1 on the way. So Bass has been quiet most of the race. He finds himself inside the top 5. So if I'm going to say it's going to come from a driver inside the top 5 if they don't get into each other.
I'm going to say that your winner is coming from P number 9 when we go back racing.
That's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Well, the 24 Colin Bolden back there, he has a very quick 24 car. We've seen him work with Keister all night long. Unfortunately, they're separated here. But I think if those two, well, I don't even think actually Bowden really needs Keister. I think Keister needs him more than he needs Keister. Because right now, it'll be Ty Bass right behind the Malik Ray machine. I'm trying to look as it was shuffling through here. It is going to be Bass pushing Ray. That combination is going to be lethal here when we go back green flag racing. Ow. It'll be next time by that we drop the hammer again.
I was going to say that. The Johnny Pacer has flipped off the switch. But let's face it. There are 29 drivers on the lead lap. 29 drivers are hopeful to come home with a checkered flag. And with it being Talladega and a restrictor plate or plate race or however you want to call it, anybody on the racetrack that is on the lead lap has a chance.
Even you, Al.
If I was on the track, I would agree with you.
So the green, white, checker. Attempt number 1 coming at us as the sun here at Talladega comes back out. The temperature of the track has dropped 10 degrees here, so that's going to allow these guys, if they could get tucked up underneath somebody, to push just a little bit longer here at the end of this one. It'll be Keister, Ray, Heck, Bass, Yarbrough, Benefield, Nagy, and Bumgardner, Bowden, and then Daney. Your top 10 drivers here. Who is going to win it, race fans? Let's see. Who do you have winning this one here tonight for the $500 put up by the Possum Kingdom? Al, I heard somebody yell your name.
Yeah, I don't, not really quite sure what's going on, but I told them they got to wait because we have a race to settle here on the Talladega Super Speedway on Turn 3 Racing Network. We appreciate you all out there tuning in for this thrilling finish that is about to happen right here on the racetrack. The Johnny Pacer, get off the racetrack. We want to go racing.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to scare Johnny Pacer. Oh, yeah, it's a Mustang. It got scared. Typical. So, that's going to leave us just the green, white checker here pending. When will Colin Keister go? Because he is going to have control of this race. Let's see if him and Hunter Heck have been in communication. There is Austin Yarbrough right there, too. Don't count the young man out of that 51. Here we go. The green flag is back in the air here at Talladega. It's going to be just 2 laps to go. When we come back across the line, your top 3 have single filed out. It's going to be Keister. It's going to be Ray. It's going to be caution flag waving.
Had trouble back here deeper in the field. It looks like it is possibly the number 16 of Hermie Sadler involved with this one as the pace car. comes back out onto the raceway is the field. We'll be under the yellow flag here. We'll see if we get another attempt or if that'll be the race.
Well, we're going to have to throw it back on the Turn 3 Racing replay. That button's been used quite a bit here tonight, as we will find what happened to the Hermie Sadler entry. Looks like the 00 just comes up and hooks the 16 of Sadler here on the restart. Sadler not even going to make it to the start-finish line before he was turned around and hit. That's exactly what happens, Al. The 16 of Sadler just going to get taken before the start-finish line.
Yeah, trying to figure out who that potentially was. I think it might have been the number 20 on our scoring, Sean. No, yeah, Sean Ward getting into the side of Hermie Sadler on that restart. Maybe he spun the tires and it kind of just hooked his car to the right, and Sadler unfortunately was right there on this restart. Roger.
Hi.
This just in.
Okay.
There are 2 attempts at the green flag, green-white checkered, overtime attempt number 2.
Al, thanks for the speedy information here. But while we're working this 11th caution here of the night, 6th one inside the last 20 laps here tonight at Talladega, we'll be right back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Welcome back here, race fans, to Talladega for the Possum Kingdom Massive Series tonight. It is $500 on the line, and we are going to our second green-white checker as Johnny Pacer brings down the pace car onto pit road. Al, these boys are going to give it another go here. It's going to be Colin Keister and Malik Ray on the front row, bringing us to the green flag.
And then Keister's got the Bass right in his back pocket, and that splash and go number 41 as the field tightens it up through the tri-oval as we get ready to go green flag racing. Attempt number 2 to finish this race under green flag is underway, and we're underway once again. The green flag flies, and it'll be the 17 of Keister with a nice jump. But here comes the 51 of Ray. Here at the outside with Hunter Heck in a nice push by the 51 of Yarborough, able to stay connected as that inside line starts to form up.
Yeah, here comes that inside lane, but where is Austin Yarborough going to go? Now the outside lane comes undone. Now that inside group, Keister, Bass, the 83 of Benefield's there. Yarborough is right there also. Those 4-car train, they are getting it done to the bottom. Here comes Colin Baldwin. He is going to bring that 24 machine also to the inside, so make it 5 cars versus 2 cars to the outside.
Biden going to jump out. Here goes the 41 of Bass. Will go down the infield. Side by side for second. Bass out of it. Now here comes Keister. White flag will fly. The next flag will end it. Back to the race line. That time at the line, it'll be Benfield. Jumping out to your race lead. 3 wide down to the turn 1 and 2.
One of them down onto the apron. That is going to be Bumgardner. Malik Ray is out of shape. They're going to crash him out of turn number 2. It's going to be 4 cars at the front here left. It's going to be the 17 of Keister, the 24 right there of Baldwin, the 2 of Hunter Heck, and I believe that is going to be Austin Yarborough right there.
Yarborough off the back bumper. These guys, it's going to be a 3-car. Bowden, your pick to win. It's going to swing to the outside of Keister. He goes high. He'll block him. No, back high again. Here comes Heck to the inside. Who's it going to be at the line?
Here comes Colin Keister. 3 wide at the line. They're going to spin it across the line. I believe it was Colin Keister that got there first. It's going to be Colin Keister. Hunter Heck, Colin Bowden right there finishing 3rd. Then it's going to be Yarborough, Cole Johnson, Jonathan Hagler, Justin Johnson, Timothy Pope, Aaron Bowles, Malik Ray will finish it off here in your 10th position. Wow, what a finish, Al. It was worth it to stick around and watch the end of this one here tonight at Talladega.
Yeah, just 0.011 second difference between second place and just under 2 10,000ths of a second between first and third at the line here tonight. It'll be Colin Keister, your race winner. Hunter Heck in second, Colin Bolden, Austin Yarborough, and Cole Johnson in that number 33, rounding out your top 5.
So with Keister winning here, we'll see if we can give him a quick moment before, or if we can get an interview in with him here tonight. He is your winner. He did lead the most laps. He was the fastest driver out there. Keister goes to victory lane, leading 27 laps. Yarborough led 16. Sadler led 15. Simmons led 8. Mills led 4. Ray led 3. Benefield led 4. Bowden led 2. And Hagler led a lap here tonight. Looking like, though, we won't be able to grab any of those drivers here tonight, Al. But find where your favorite driver did end up finishing here at Talladega as it scrolls across the top. Al, though, a pretty rough one here for the Possum Kingdom Massive Series. 11 cautions here in 84 laps.
Yeah, well, not, it was the first part of the race is the multiple car incidents, low number cars. And then once we got past the halfway point, the gloves came off. The driver said it is go time, and well, go time meant yellow time, unfortunately. But a great show, as always, put on by the drivers here at the Possum Kingdom Raceways series here. And congratulations to Colin Keister, tonight's event winner here, leading the most laps, as you just said, Roger. And how about that finish? 3 wide at the line. It was any one of them. I really thought that your pick was going to win it.
Yeah, I thought Colin Baldwin was going to come back here and win this one. Unfortunately, he's going to come up a little short, finishing in 3rd place here tonight at Talladega. But that's going to about do it here for us at the Turn 3 Racing Network. For Al Smith, I'm Roger Muth. All the guys behind the scenes here at the Possum Kingdom Massive Series. Colin Keister going to win this one here tonight at Talladega.